Before we get started, I want to remind everyone that the information in this presentation is not to be or construed as investment advice. The information presented are subject to change without notice, and while we have made every reasonable effort to ensure that the content is reliable and accurate, we have not independently verified the content and are not responsible for errors therein. Please consult a professional advisor before putting a loonie in any of these financial markets. Hi everyone, and welcome back to the IceCap Canadian Market Wrap with me, Richard Diaz. Last week I was a little jet lagged and a little bit under the weather, so you'll have to forgive me. But today I'm feeling much better, and thank goodness, because this week's topic is super interesting. The Bank of Canada cut interest rates by 50 basis points. As usual, we split our video into a few sections. Number one, the cut and some context. Number two, the reason the BOC gave us as to why they cut interest rates. And we'll finish off why we think they did this jumbo cut right now, and why they were so dovish in the subsequent presser. So let's get started. For those of you who might not get the reference on the slide, there are a couple of clips from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. It's a book and a movie that I absolutely love and recommend. The BOC cut the overnight target rate by 50 basis points or 0.5% to 3.75. I've clipped out some of the official press release for you here, but basically the bank expects inflation to remain close to the target over the projection horizon, with inflation pressures roughly balanced. There is now excess supply in the economy, or slack, and with inflation now back to around 2%, the Governing Council decided to reduce the policy rate by 50 basis points to support economic growth and keep inflation close to the middle of the 1 to 3% range. They went on to say they would be ready to act again. Now that's all well and good, but what's really important to note is that this is unprecedented. The following is from a Bloomberg article that highlights that 50 basis point cuts don't happen unless there is an emergency of some kind, like September 11th or the COVID crisis. We talked about this in a previous episode after the Fed did the same thing under the proviso that everything is going just fine, but we're going to do this very rare thing anyway. This is an unprecedented move from the Bank of Canada and should definitely raise some eyebrows. However, it's not a surprise. And here I've shown headline inflation and the main policy rate along with the overnight index swaps. And those are those little 3 dots that I've put there. And those swaps allow people and the market to bet on the future path of interest rates. They're a useful predictor most of the time. And as you can see, they were already quite low leading into the meeting and hardly moved after. And what that tells you is the market was not surprised. It was expecting this rate cut. Now, part of the reason is because of the consensus among economists and strategists on Bay Street and Wall Street. The consensus is derived when they ask a bunch of economists what their view is and when it's going to happen, etc. They put this all together and it pumps out a figure. And indeed, the consensus estimate was for a 50 basis point cut. So this was not a surprise. As a result of that, the market was largely unmoved. One way of confirming this is that the Canadian dollar was basically flat on the day. If there was a big shock, the loonie would have sold off by 1% or more. And a similar thing could be said about the government bonds, which, similar to option and overnight index swaps and other funky instruments, have been pricing this for a long time. So what was the reason the BOC gave that it was, in fact, cutting rates by 50 basis points? The first reason is that inflation is back to target, and they concede that it's happened a lot faster than they expected. But I want to stress that inflation is still rising, but just at a slower rate. The target rate is from 1 to 3%, and that's what the BOC aims to, and they're not biased against over or under, and their aim is simply to be in that range. However, as one of the journalists pointed out in the press conference, price levels are much higher than they were pre-COVID, and people are still struggling with the cost of living. And there's 2 things to unpack there. Number one, as you can see in the chart, the price levels are indeed much, much higher. And even though inflation is falling, it's not clear that wages have fully calibrated to this new reality. And number 2, I would argue that CPI can sometimes, especially in times of crisis, underestimate the changes in people's baskets and how high inflation actually is. They also mentioned that the economy continues to be in excess supply. In the presser, they touched on the growing labor market slack. We've talked about this before, and we've argued that there's not enough jobs for all the newcomers available, and they indeed lay this out in the press release. They also talked about how there's rising youth unemployment, and we talked about that as well, and it's gone up to nearly a 12-year high, if I'm not mistaken. An economy that continues to be in excess supply or have a labor market slack will have rising unemployment. And again, that's something that we've highlighted before. As you can see, when you have a jump in unemployment rate, that tends to coincide with recessions. Why is that important? Because we think that's the real reason the BOC cut rates by so much. But before we go on to that and some of the evidence that we have to support that view, I want to address this tweet from our dear finance minister that argues that it's good news that the Bank of Canada cut interest rates again. She makes reference to the G7 and the fact that they cut interest rates 4 times, and that's total nonsense. The reality is that if you're cutting interest rates dramatically and at pace, something is wrong in your economy. And indeed, we know that. As I showed in episode 7, Canada has been in a per capita recession for some time now. GDP per capita growth has been negative for nearly 2 years, or that is to say GDP growth has lagged behind the increases in population. Add this to the decline in productivity we've seen and the structural issues with investment, which we'll get to in a second. It's not a pretty picture, and it's certainly not good news. Freeland is right in one sense. Lower interest rates will help with debt servicing costs, and that's what this chart shows. The interest component of debt servicing, debt service payments related to mortgages, and it's linked to interest rates. And indeed, there is some co-movement. However, it's certainly not perfect as we've seen in 2007, and the hopes that cuts in interest rates will directly translate to lower debt servicing ratios and lower interest payments, in my view, are misplaced because we have Canadian households have much higher debt levels, and that's something we're going to talk about next week. Unfortunately, the damage is done. Along with productivity growth, business sentiment has cratered. This chart is from the Monetary Policy Report that was just released, and we discussed some of the reasons why there's a structural problem in business investment in episode 3. This is hardly fixed by somewhat lower interest rates. Furthermore, from a cyclical point of view, non-residential investment is likely to fall further as the economy continues to contract. Again, this is an old chart, but this is a really, really important point. Even though you slightly cut interest rates, sentiment is so low and the environment to invest is so poor that it's not at all clear that business capex will rise. And indeed, in a recession, it might fall even further. And of course, finally, there's the elephant in the room, and that's the real estate sector. House prices in Canada are seemingly not allowed to fall. And even though we've seen new construction slowdown, slow real estate sales, and condo crash, it's to me clear that one of the main reasons why the Bank of Canada cut interest so much was to try to arrest the decline in 2 of Canada's most important housing markets, and that's Vancouver and Toronto, which are clearly creaking under the pressure of higher interest rates. So that's it for this week's video. We talked about how the jumbo rate cuts were unprecedented, even though they were totally expected. We also talked about what the reasons the BOC gave, which was inflation back to target, and the fact that there's a little bit of economic slack building in the market. We do not think this is good news, like Krista Freeland has suggested. We think Canada is already in a recession, certainly in name only because GDP per capita continues to decline. Businesses' investment is weak, as well as sentiment. We think consumers are under pressure, and it's not clear that a couple rate cuts will help that. And the real estate sector ultimately will continue to contract until there is a cleansing of all that excess supply that we've seen built up over the last few years. And with that, so that's a wrap on this week's episode. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, and follow for more. And as always, feel free to get in touch.